When small businesses are trying to define their brand, they often think about their logo, their brand colors, or their product or service. But that is the wrong place to start. So today I'm going to show you the right place to start when it comes to your brand marketing and help you create a brand that sells. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brandy with LYFE Marketing, the digital marketing agency with a mission to help small businesses grow. Super quick before we get into it, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the business growing videos that we put out every single week. All right, so let's quickly define what is brand marketing. Amazon says brand marketing is promoting a brand's products or services in a way that elevates the brand as a whole. And Investopedia says a brand refers to a business and marketing concept that helps people identify a particular company, product, or individual. It's easy to see why a lot of people use the word brand synonymously with things like logo or product when you hear definitions like these. And people do that all the time, right? Like when somebody says they got some new Nikes, we generally know that that means they got new shoes. But your logo, your name, and product are products of your brand. They aren't the brand itself. So what is? How do you define your brand for your small business? In my opinion, your brand is based around these two things: who you help and why. From those two answers will flow your product, your name, your logo, your brand colors, and the rest of it. Let's look at LYFE as an example. We are LYFE Marketing, and we help small businesses grow via digital marketing. We do it because we have a passion to do so, and our co-founders know firsthand of the struggle it is to build a company from the ground up, and therefore wanted to pave the way to make it easier for other small business owners to market themselves and grow their bottom line. A lot of times business ideas are born out of need, meaning entrepreneurs will need a product or service themselves and realize it doesn't exist. So they'll go create a company that fills in that gap. But born from our desire to help small business owners market and grow their businesses effectively came LYFE Marketing, which is a digital marketing agency that takes care of your marketing from top to bottom on your behalf. And of course, we put together a brand guide with our colors, fonts, logo, etc. to reflect our values and help maintain our reputation. But the brand guide didn't come first. The service didn't even come first. The who and the why did. So make sure you're not skipping steps. You cannot market your brand effectively until you've thoroughly defined what your brand means. And you do that by determining your who and your why. So when it comes to brand marketing, it makes sense as to why it's more than just promoting your products or services, because your brand is more than just your product or service. Now, there is another aspect to brand marketing to take into account, and that's the public's view of your brand. You can say that your brand encompasses values XYZ all day long, but ultimately you have to consider how the world is viewing your brand as well. Think of the billions of individual people there are on this earth. Every time your messaging reaches a person's brain, it's going to mesh with their upbringing, their worldview, their values, their sense of humor, their unique point of view, right? So some people might go so far as to say that a company's brand is their customers' perception of them. A great example I have of this is from when I was in middle school. I used to rock high top Converse shoes in tons of different colors. It was just the thing back then. And I remember my dad being surprised that I wanted to wear Converse shoes because he said in his day, those were not considered the cool shoes. They were kind of like the lame shoes to wear. But in my middle school years, high top Converse were the cool shoes. Same brand, same product, same everything except my dad's point of view versus mine. So it's important as you continue to market your brand over time to be an active social listener, or keep an ear to the ground, so to speak, so you can be in the know as to how people feel about your brand and you can adjust your messaging accordingly. Let's look at one more example before we move on. Starbucks' mission statement is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. One article said that they sell about 4 million coffee drinks per day. That's a lot of coffee and a lot of customers, a lot of different customers. When I say the word Starbucks, what pops into your head? For students, it might be a nice, cozy place to study with some headphones in. For city corporate folk, it might be their quick cup of happiness on the way to work. For moms, it might be the only 4 minutes of peace they get in an entire day, the escape run to go grab a cup of coffee. For me, not to put them on blast, but they have watered down my chai latte so many times that what pops in my head is mass and personal coffee chain, because I've just found that smaller ma and pa coffee shops make my latte so much better every time. And I used to love Starbucks. Lived on it in college. When I was in high school, it was cool to walk into school with a Starbucks cup in hand. Kids would do that even if they didn't like coffee, just because that's the kind of weight the logo and brand carried. But now, in some of the same circles, it's kind of considered cooler to shop local or shop small instead. Things change and evolve, and your brand has to evolve along with it. Now, obviously, Starbucks is doing perfectly well for themselves. I am not using them as an example of what happens when you don't adapt. But what I am highlighting is how many people can each have their own idea of what Starbucks is, even though we're all experiencing the same store, logo, and brand. So again, when it comes to brand marketing, it's great to have your idea of your brand nailed down, but just keep in mind that the public will also have different ideas about what your brand means as well. Now, the last thing I want to touch on really quickly before we wrap up is how to market your brand. Looking back at Amazon's definition, brand marketing is the promotion of a brand's products or services in a way that elevates the brand as a whole. So beyond just talking about what you offer, you want these efforts to create value-driven interactions with your customers so that they think back on your brand positively. To help get you started with this, I'm going to link these branding videos I made as well as Jelly's brand guide tutorial in the description. I would highly suggest you watch those next if you're in the process of developing your brand. But otherwise, that about wraps up everything I have for you today, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell before you head to check out those other videos, and I will see you in the next episode.